everyone, Mr. E here with another SolidWorks tutorial video for students and beginners. And in this one, we're going to look at how to create a ruler as a simple 2D project, which is also going to let us to get better at sketching, dimensioning, and using the linear pattern tool. So I've made a new SolidWorks part. Let's make a new sketch, and I'm just going to draw this on my top plane. First thing for my ruler is I'm going to make a box for my ruler. So I'm going to make a rectangle. And I can dimension this rectangle to be whatever length I want my ruler to be. For the sake of my tutorial, I'm just going to make this to be 6 inches. So it's going to be a half ruler, a 6-inch ruler. So I'm going to make it 6 by 1. But of course, you could make this 12 if you were making a 12-inch ruler, right? And then I'm going to draw my first little increment tick mark. So I'm going to grab my line tool. And right here, I'm just going to draw a perfectly vertical line. Just like so. I'm going to set the height of this line to be 0.1 inches. And this is going to be my 16th inch tick marks down the length of my ruler. Now, as it's the 16th inch tick mark, the first thing I need to do is make sure that it's actually a 16th from the end of my ruler. So I'm going to set a dimension between the line and the start of my ruler and set that to be 0.0625, 16th of an inch. Okay? So we have our first tick mark here on our ruler. Now I could do that a dozen more times, right, if I wanted to do 16ths down the entire thing. And actually, how many 16th inch lines do we need? Well, that would be 16 times 6, because there's 16 per inch. And if I'll give you a second to do that math in your head or break out your calculator, but yes, that would be 96. So you could do that 96 times, or you could use this linear pattern tool. Now, a couple things going on. First thing is, what is the direction that we're patterning? It is, in fact, the x-axis. You can see my little axis line right here. We're going in the x direction. Great. The distance will be a 16th of an inch, because it's our 16th inch lines. The quantity is going to be 96, because we need 96 of those across a 6-inch ruler, just like we just calculated there. And then the thing that we're going to pattern, entity to pattern, is going to be this little 16th inch line. So I click on that, and you'll notice that we get our pattern, which should take you right to the end of your ruler, just like so. Let's hit the checkbox, and now we have those 96 lines. Super handy. Great. Next thing for our ruler would be our 1/8 inch lines. So I'm going to grab my line tool. I'm going to go to the second line in, 1/16, 2/16, which is an 1/8, and I'm going to make a new line that is 0.1 inches in length. So I'm going to draw a new line and set that to be 0.1. Cool. Now we're going to go ahead and hit our linear pattern. X-axis, the distance is now going to be every 1/8 of an inch, so 0.125. And the thing that we're going to pattern is this line. And you'll notice that it jumps to the next 1/8, right? It skips a 16th and goes to the next 1/8. Perfect. Quantity, well, how many 1/8 lines do we need in a 6-inch ruler? It's half the number of 16th inch lines, so that would be 48. And you should see this pattern go all the way to the end, every other line, if you did it correctly. Hit your check, and there you go. So we have our 16th inch lines, we have our 1/8 inch lines. Now we need our 1/4 inch lines. Let's hit our line tool. Let's go to our first 1/4 inch line, which would be 4/16 or 2/8. And let's make this taller by 0.1 inches. So I'm going to extend this guy up by 0.1, just like so, which looks great. And then we can pattern this using our linear pattern tool. So hit your linear sketch pattern, x-axis. The distance now is going to be a 1/4 of an inch. The quantity will be 24, because 4 times 6 is 24. And the entity to pattern is this line, just like so. And you'll notice it now goes every 4. Hit your check. And then we have to do our 1/2 inch lines. So line tool, go to your first 1/2 inch line, which would be 8 lines, 8/16 in. We can set that new extension to be 0.1 inches tall. You'll see this is getting very repetitive, but hopefully you're following along with me here. Let's use our linear sketch pattern. I'm going to say that these are going to be every 0.5 inches. We need 12. And the thing that we're going to pattern is this new extension. Hit your check. And we have one more line to do. So grab your line tool, and this is going to be our inch line. So go to the second half inch or 16 lines in, which would be this one right here. And you can make that a little bit taller by adding an 0.1 inch extension to it, like so. And then grab your linear sketch pattern to click on this as your entity 2 pattern, but the distance will be 1 inch. And for a 6-inch ruler, we technically need 6, but if I say 6, you'll notice that this is actually just going to go and overlap with the end here. But nonetheless, 6 of those in a 6-inch ruler, and hit your checkbox. All right, so there are all of our inch lines on our ruler that we've created here, which is pretty cool, all using the linear pattern tool. Now, if you'd like, you can go ahead and add the metric lines in a very similar way, where I'm going to draw a line right here, like so, and I'll dimension that to be 0.1 inches, just like we did before, right? But now I can actually set the distance between the end of my ruler and this line to be 1 millimeter. So I'm going to type in 1 space mm, and it will automatically convert that for inches for me. So that's now 1 millimeter from the end there. Now, just like before, we're going to grab our linear sketch pattern, and the distance for this will be 1 mm. The quantity is about 25 millimeters per inch, so therefore it'll be about 150, I believe 152 millimeters in 6 inches. And the entity to pattern will be this guy. Let's see if we made it to the end there. We did. The spacing at the end won't be even, right? So that's not a, this spacing is correct. From this line to this line is 1 millimeter, but that spacing will not be even because it doesn't fit into 6 inches just right, but that is okay. And hit your checkbox. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add our centimeter line. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, this guy is my 10th. So I'm going to make a new line right here that's 0.1 inches in height. All right. And we can do our sketch pattern one last time. The distance for this will either be 10 millimeters or 1 space cm, 1 centimeter. The entity to pattern will be this guy, and that should go every 10, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. And the quantity is not 150, 2, it's now 15. 15 centimeters. So let's see how that looks. Yep, right there. 15 centimeters fit into a 6-inch ruler. So let's hit our checkbox. All right, and we have our ruler there, which is pretty good. Now you'll notice these are blue just because I hid the actual sketch relations just for rendering, because it's moving a little slow on my computer here with the screen recording, but that's not a problem. Not a problem at the moment for what we're trying to do. So there's our ruler that's dimensionally drawn. So now the next thing we want to do is we can go ahead and add our text on here if you want to actually number these, like your inches and your centimeters or whatever it is. Now the way that text works is it wants to align itself to a line. So I like to create guidelines, like for example, a center line, and I'll show you what I mean here. If I, let's say, click right along my inches and I give myself a nice straight guideline like this, that could be how I align all of my text boxes for this, right? So I have this center line that's not actually part of my design. It's just like a construction line here. I'm going to grab my text tool and I can click on this line. I can then put, the number 1 there, and you'll see that it goes right along this guideline where I clicked. You can bold your font. You can also choose a different font if you'd like from your text and things like that. So you can grab a different font that's compatible, and you can also change your font size. So if I wanted to change my font size, I can do that like so. I actually don't know if I like that. Give me a second. Let me find something a little bit better. That looks a little bit better. Cool. And there's a couple ways to do this. If you wanted to, you could try to do something like this, where you try to actually space out the numbers in this text box, which is actually pretty easy to do in this case scenario, where I can actually copy and paste this spacing, and you'll see I do line myself up really nicely with my lines. I'm actually not sure why the 3 is so much bigger. That's interesting. Not sure why that happened. Let's actually see if I set this to be a set height. Why is the 3 so much larger? That's strange. That might be something with this font. The 3 is so much bigger. Interesting. Fascinating. Not sure what that's about. But nonetheless, this is a pretty quick way to add the numbers on your ruler, although perhaps not the most accurate way. I would say a more accurate way is to actually put in individual text boxes and set them exactly where you want to be. But I think you get the idea. I have no idea why the 1 and the 2 are so much smaller than the rest of the numbers there. That's kind of strange. I'll have to play with that and look into that. But nonetheless, there you go for your numbers. If you wanted to, you can go and add the same for your centimeters. Another thing that I always like to do is on the ruler, you should really mark your units. So for example, I'm going to give myself 2 center lines over here. So I'm going to click on this one and say that this is mm, and I'll click on this one and say that this is in, and you could obviously put your name on this or whatever it is that you'd like to add to your design. Now, the last thing that you might want to do is if you actually want to laser cut this part is you can file, save this as a 2D profile that you can use for laser cutting, like a DXF file would usually work pretty well with most laser cutting programs or something like that. Or you can export it as an Illustrator file or whatever it might be for you to actually export this for laser cutting. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more in future tutorials and guides.